So switching gears to the NL a little bit, we've been talking about the Padres a lot. Eli and I are both kind of more bullish on the Padres, definitely than their results so far, for sure. Do you think there's a bounce back going to happen there? I still think that's one of, if not the best lineup when they're at full strength. But they're closer to the cellar right now than they are to first place.
Yeah, it's been really weird for the Padres, right? And I mean, look, they're going to have to get Manny Machado back at some point because he's just kind of a leader of that team, even though he didn't do anything, up until he got hurt, really, except for hitting lefties really well, which is a valuable skill, but, you'd rather be a bit better on the bigger side of the platoon. This lineup is really talented. This pitching staff is really talented. It's a good bullpen, too. There's way too much talent for this team to be playing the way that it is, to not be capitalizing on these opportunities. They're pressing a little bit. I think that's been a big part of it. But, I mean, Juan Soto's back to being a top 5 offensive player. Xander Bogaerts he's been okay, I guess, but he's a guy with a long track record of success. Tatis is a guy that, I think we all had legitimate questions about coming back off the suspension and the major surgery. He's still a dynamic player, though, when he gets it going. To me, I think the biggest thing for them is just you got to get Joe Musgrove going. Joe Musgrove is such an important piece of this rotation where Michael Wacha has been phenomenal for them, kind of out of nowhere. We knew Darvish would be good, but Snell is a 4-and-fly, 5-and-fly type of guy that you can't really rely on. It's Musgrove, to me, that's got to be good for this rotation. And, coming off the injury and the rough start in Mexico City, he just hasn't gotten into a groove yet. But I think when he does, I think this team kind of takes off. So I don't think they're going to win the West or anything like that, but I certainly still expect this team to be a playoff contender.
Looking ahead to Thursday, I don't know if you've capped the card just yet, but I believe Musgrove is up against Jesus Luzardo, and just looking at some early odds here for the June 1st card, yeah, it is Musgrove Luzardo, and minus 115 looks like the best number as of now on the Padres to win the game outright. So Miami pretty much minus 105. Would you give any sort of a look to San Diego? Do you see any signs that Musgrove bounces back?
Well, look, I mean, I think, one thing that's really nice is the Marlins are not a good offense against righties. They're a very good offense against lefties, top 5 in weighted on base average this year. And Musgrove is right-handed, so that helps him. Also, he's going to Marlins Park, where you can get away with some mistakes because that's not a really good offensive venue. So this is a spot where I think Musgrove could possibly have a good outing, kind of, have something to build off of. The question is how much run support he gets, because Luzardo is also very good in that offensive-pressive environment down there at Marlins Park. He's a lefty with high strikeout rates. I think it's a little bit of a tricky matchup for the Padres offense as well. But that's going to be a cheap total, getaway day game. Those usually are. I just want to see Musgrove show something, show some signs of putting some consistency together. And I think there's a good chance for him to do that in this start. I just don't know if there's going to be a great betting edge to be had in that game.